Welcome. Welcome to this week's episode of the Macgasm podcast. I'm Joshua Schnell.
I'm Brennan Schnell.
And we're going to talk, well, we should maybe do a follow-up on...
Oh yeah, I just had surgery. I don't know if anybody's been following me on Twitter and stuff, so my eye might look like it's a little wet or leaking, and
It's because he's crying tears for you.
I'm pretty sure it stopped leaking blood, so I think you guys won't throw up, but if you do, my bad. But yes, the surgery went well. I'm good now, just recovering. And we want to also talk about, I think our last episode, or a couple weeks ago, we talked with Dom from...
Dom Kubali.
From End Product, who makes the Dexter timepieces, and we're still rocking them. And it says a lot, considering we normally go through products like there's no tomorrow, and then either end up on our shelves or in the trash.
Let's just say really quick, there are some interesting stuff's going on, especially with the watch bands, right? Like, yours is...
Mine's made out of a backpack. We talked about it on the episodes.
Yeah.
Watch the episode. Dom and I go over all that stuff. So we're still rocking them, and we definitely still recommend people pick them up.
Yeah, pretty cool. Which time thing are you using?
The white one.
Oh, see, I got the...
You don't have the Mickey Mouse?
No.
Or Monster?
I had the Monster for a while.
Oh, really?
Animal, yeah.
So on this episode, we got some apps that we want to talk about.
Games, not apps.
Yeah, so I've been in recovery mode and been playing
also known as lazy fucker mode.
I wouldn't call it that. I'd call it...
Oh, I would call it that.
Running half in the bag, like laying on the couch, not knowing where I am. And I've been actually playing a lot of Xbox games, but I've started downloading some iPhone games that I wanted to try out.
Yeah.
And so this week we're talking about Scribblenauts Remix that I've wanted to try since they've released... It was for the Nintendo DS originally, then they came out with the iPhone version at the beginning of January.
Right.
So I've been playing that, and the other game that we have is...
Smash Cops.
That's what it's called. So we both have played Smash Cops, and I've only really played Scribblenauts. I don't think you...
You haven't played Smash Cops yet? I thought you
No, I played Scribblenauts. What I said is I played Scribblenauts and Smash Cop, but you haven't played Scribblenauts.
Well, I've seen it and I know enough about it, but I haven't actually played through it. It's not for me, but why don't you tell us why you like it?
Okay, so I think the reason why I like Scribblenauts so much is it takes a different approach to games. It's not so much pushing 3 buttons and having a guy run across the screen. You have to type words.
It's a puzzle game, really. You're trying to solve a puzzle.
But use...
using interesting solutions.
Yeah, like adding adjectives to other words, like a brick bridge or a long bridge.
Well, we're not explaining this very well. So there's a puzzle, and you have to solve something in that puzzle. So you have to get from point A to point B.
Or you have to have a solution to a problem by typing in words.
So, for instance, you have to get up a hill.
Yeah, so you'd make a ramp or a bridge. Or,
yeah, and it's word-based. So you say ramp, and a ramp appears.
And I at first, there's a couple of puzzles that you got to think a little bit. But I think it's great for kids. I think if kids play games like this, it helps them with spelling and thinking outside the box for some of the solutions, because you can do so many different things to get to your end result. You don't all have to follow the same path. You don't have to walk down the same hall. You don't have to try and dodge the lasers.
That's the cool thing. And like we were yesterday trying funny animals.
Yeah,
like
and it was so interesting. Yeah, like I never thought that like they'd go that far.
Yeah.
So you'd put in like specific animals like lion and tiger, and then they'd fight each other, or and you'd see that, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The only thing I wish that they'd do is you being able to type in things for the things that you're creating to do.
Like lion run, lion
yeah,
jump.
so you could give a gun to one of the guys, and you could type in shoot gun, and he'd shoot the gun.
Right.
You can't do that.
Huh.
But they did a great job, and I think if you have kids that use iOS devices, or I know they have it on.
It is a little bit of a. I don't want to say it's a kid game because it's gotten a lot of play from our generation and adults, and it is really supposed to be really fun, but it looks and feels like a game for teens.
But I'd rather have, if I had a child, I'd rather have them playing a game like that than playing...
Nope, Smash Cops. I'd rather my kids play Smash Cops.
Well, they're learning while they're playing, and I think it teaches kids how to spell, and you can still make a mistake and it'll autocorrect it and stuff, but then you start realizing, oh, I spelt it wrong, and next time you're going to spell it correct, and then you start thinking of words like Pegasus. Like, when was the last time you ever thought of a Pegasus? Because you need that animal to fly, right? So you have to think outside of the box on some of these puzzles. So I highly recommend it.
That's cool.
Especially if you have kids.
Oh, this one's easy. Shoot. Fuck that guy.
So unlike Scribblenauts, my game's just about ramming cars into cars.
Yeah,
over
so
and over and over
when you
and
showed,
over and over.
But when you showed me that game, I was blown away because they make it's different.
Yeah.
It's
so,
not your typical, even like with Scribblenauts, it's not your typical joystick button
No,
game.
that's a really cool thing. Originally it was, but they changed the game is you're a cop and you're in a pretty crappy cop car, and as you get further through the game, you get a better cop car and a better cop car and a better cop car, and they're like turbocharged. And your goal is
Ramathorn.
Yeah, so there's criminals trying to escape you, and you're trying to arrest them.
If anyone gets that reference, I'd be impressed.
The only way.
Say Ramrod.
Ramrod. Yeah.
I said car ramrod.
Ramrod.
Meow.
So you chase the criminal, and you have to arrest them, and the way you arrest them is by smashing the car over and over and over until the health's gone. Now, like Brennan was saying, the control scheme isn't like you would think it would be, in that you got a corner of your device where it's a joystick and a button. It's not like that at all.
The problem with those games is, like, after a while, your thumbs start getting away in the way of your screen, because by habit, your hands just start moving closer and closer, and you're like, I can't even see my car.
Yeah. So the way the control works is, if you pretend this is the car on the screen, and you're going towards Brennan, you'd tap your thumb or your finger or whatever you use behind it, and then you would drag, and as you're dragging, it would turn, and you drag the other way, and it would turn. If you drag it like really hard, it'll turn the car around. And then to get a speed burst to ram, you just tap a second finger on the screen.
Yeah, so you're basically chasing a bad guy, you gotta ram him, you gotta bring his health down, and then you win the level. And they drive all around the cities, and there's not pedestrians, there's other cars, and there's objects that you have to avoid.
Dumpsters and stuff. It reminded me a lot of the original Grand Theft Auto game, where it's like a top-down view of the cars.
An iPhone version of Driver meets Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, stealing the cars and like doing the chasing.
Yeah, like you remember Driver back in the day? It was all cars, and you didn't ever get out of your car.
Yeah.
But the GTA is more the down.
It looks great on the iPhone. It is a universal app. On the iPad, I wasn't as sold on how it
it didn't look too bad, because I was playing on AirPlay to my TV, and it looked great. It looked great. And I like doing that, because even with this game, sometimes your thumb does get in the way. Sometimes when you're dragging.
So you can just look up. And,
I was looking at my TV the entire time, and you saw it, and your thumb never got in the way, and you're just flying around the corners and ramming the cars. There's also some cool puzzles, like I think level 5 or something.
There's little things, so as you progress, there's obviously you chase the criminal and you try and ram them. And then there's one where it's a course that you can't hit the pylons, so you got to go through the course, and it's really difficult. There's one where you have to take out 2 cars, so you have to chase 2 cars and mow them down. There's one where you have to take a prisoner to the jail, so there's other cars trying to ram you. So, I mean, the principle of the game is pretty much the same for each of the levels. The really thing I wish it did that it doesn't is it doesn't have a multiplayer mode. I thought it would be so fantastic.
We talked about that.
If like you were a criminal and I was the cop, and
I had
you had to try to escape me, and I
get
was
more
trying
points.
to mow you down.
I think that's something that they'll probably come out with in the second version.
Yeah, because that'd be fantastic. Over Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, over Game Center.
What do you think about the price at $3? Because that's key.
$2.99, yeah.
If it was 99 cents, they're getting a lot of play right now. They're getting like they're in the top.
$2.99 is nothing, right? Like this drink isn't going to cost $2.99, but relatively to other games on the App Store, I had fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if it's beat some other games I'm playing right now, like Super Crate Box, which we'll do in another episode. I'm playing nonstop, and that was only $1. So $2.99. I mean, it's $2.99. Who cares? It's like not even the price of Starbucks.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to do it relative to the other games that you're playing.
Well, I'm sure you can find other fun games for $1, right? For sure. But I think at $2.99, it provides a lot of gameplay. And
now, is it a game that you'll continuously play? It's not a crapper game. We've talked about that before. That there's games that you play on the.
Well, I don't know about that, because they're all episodic missions, right? It's like Angry Birds
like
in that there's like mission, like level, and then you got to get 5 stars.
But there's like some strategy behind it. You got to like actually kind of focus with a lot of the crapper games we talked about. It's just like tap, or they're like the cannonball style games where you're just jumping over the buildings when you're on the crapper.
Yeah,
this isn't a crapper game, really.
No, you'd sit down and play this for sure, and I don't know, I liked it. $2.99. I mean, I think it was well worth $2.99. It looks great, and when I first saw it and the concept, it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of enjoyment from sneaking up parallel to the car and then just jerking your wheel hard and then hitting the punch button and the car just like
see, the only thing that I would like them to fix on that part is when you're chasing the car and you actually like sideswipe him and he stops and he goes that way. I think the bad guy or the whoever you're chasing has to take a different route. I don't think that they should like, so
there are some weird mechanics.
No, because like, so say this is me chasing you and this is the road he's supposed to come down, but you ram him way past that road. If you keep ramming him, he'll eventually have to flip around and come back.
I
think since it
should
be
the AI is smart enough.
Yeah, he should know, okay, I've gone way past that, but I still have to try and get to this end point. I have to take this alternative
I haven't
route.
tried that too much. Like I haven't tried just passing them and seeing if they like.
No,
I haven't played enough.
Like,
I haven't played enough levels over enough to know if he's set on a trajectory.
He is, because like I've rammed him in a bunch of levels. You ram him so far, and then I get him pinned up against a wall, and then the other cop comes in and gets him pinned. Eventually he breaks through, but then flips all the way back and around instead of going down that other side street.
What I hate is when you hit him and he flips, and usually if you hit him at a perfect angle, the car will lift up and be flipping in the air, and you'll drive under him, and sometimes he just disappears. Or sometimes he's on the ground and you end up driving right through him.
Really?
So it's a little bit of glitchy at times, for sure.
But it's their first.
Well, I don't know. I've never heard
first
of
version of
before.
this game.
Yeah.
So
$2.99. I mean, definitely worth it. A lot of fun.
So I think there's a lot of other great things that they can improve on this game, and I think we talked about that. So I guarantee the next version is going to have, hopefully, the
I hope, man,
support.
because that'd be so awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
So that's all we have for you for this episode. I didn't bleed and I didn't leak everywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Quasimodo.
Yeah, you can find us at twitter.com/Macgasm, YouTube Macgasm, Blip Macgasm, Macgasm.
Yeah, if you like us, subscribe in iTunes. You'll get, or not, well, obviously in iTunes, you'll get it updated. But you can subscribe in Instacast. You can subscribe in YouTube if you like YouTube and you just want to subscribe there. Just make sure you subscribe. You'll get the notices when a new video episode is uploaded. You can also, there's a really cool app out that we're included in called Frequency for the iPad right now. Every single video that is on our website, podcast or not related, goes in like a Macgasm section in Frequency, and you can see all the videos we've shared on our website. It's a pretty cool app, so check that out for sure.
So that's it. I'm Brennan Schnell, twitter.com/eScene.
And I'm Joshua Schnell at
He
Joshua
forgets his
Schnell.
Twitter handle. He's an idiot.
I'm so used to saying at Macgasm. I'm just like, fuck.
So hope you enjoyed this episode. Catch us next week.
Bye.
See you later.